There was a time when a laptop bag, a stack of notebooks, and a separate e-reader were the standard student loadout, but that's not really true anymore. Tablets have quietly become one of the most useful gadgets on campus. Light enough to slip into a backpack, powerful enough to run a full course load of apps, and always just one tap away from a lecture stream or a last-minute PDF download. Number 5. OnePlus Pad Go 2. Starting off at number 5 is the OnePlus Pad Go 2, the budget pick on this list and a genuinely strong option for any student who wants a comfortable, backpack-friendly tablet without spending a premium price. It's specifically built around the basics students actually need day-to-day: comfortable reading, lecture streaming, and note-taking, at a price point that won't cause much stress if it gets tossed around campus or occasionally left behind in a lecture hall. The tablet's lightweight construction makes it genuinely easy to carry between classes without adding meaningful bulk to a backpack already loaded with textbooks and other supplies. And its screen size sits comfortably in that middle ground that works well for both reading PDFs and taking notes without feeling cramped or awkwardly oversized. Battery life is a genuine strength for this category of device, since a tablet that dies halfway through a full day of back-to-back classes quickly becomes more of a liability than a convenience, and budget-focused tablets in this line have consistently been engineered to prioritize all-day battery performance specifically because their target buyers can't necessarily count on finding an outlet between every class. For students on a tighter budget, particularly those still deciding whether a tablet will genuinely fit into their study habits before committing to a more expensive premium device, this represents a genuinely sensible entry point that still delivers real day-to-day functionality rather than feeling like a compromised, stripped-down experience. It handles the core student workload, browsing course materials, watching lecture recordings, and basic note-taking, without the stutters or slowdowns that cheaper, poorly optimized tablets sometimes struggle with under real academic use. While it won't compete with pricier options on this list for raw processing power or a bundled premium stylus, for students who mainly need a reliable, portable screen for reading and light note-taking rather than heavy multitasking or creative work, it delivers real value precisely where it matters most, which is exactly why it earns a spot as this year's standout budget pick for student use. Number 4. Xiaomi Pad 8. At number 4 is the Xiaomi Pad 8, a tablet that leans heavily into raw specs, offering big storage, a big battery, and a fast refresh rate display that genuinely stands out among this year's student-focused options. That fast refresh rate makes a real, noticeable difference for everyday use, since scrolling through lecture slides, PDFs, and notes feels considerably smoother and more responsive compared to a standard 60Hz display, and that smoothness genuinely matters over the course of a long study session where a laggy, stuttering screen becomes a real source of fatigue and frustration. The generous storage capacity addresses a genuinely common problem for students specifically, since lecture recordings, downloaded textbooks, research papers, and project files accumulate surprisingly quickly over the course of a semester, and running out of space partway through a term to save an important file is a genuinely avoidable headache with a tablet built around ample storage from the start. Battery life is another standout strength here. Engineered specifically to handle a full day of back-to-back classes, extended study sessions in the library, and video calls for group projects without needing a midday charge, which matters enormously for students moving between buildings and lecture halls without guaranteed access to an outlet throughout the day. Running Android gives students access to the full breadth of the Google Play Store, including Google Workspace, Canvas, and the wide range of note-taking and productivity apps that have become standard tools for modern coursework, letting the tablet integrate smoothly into whatever academic software ecosystem a specific school or program relies on. For students specifically prioritizing display quality and storage capacity over brand name or bundled accessories, the combination of specs packed into this tablet at its price point makes it a genuinely compelling pick, delivering hardware performance that punches meaningfully above what its price tag might otherwise suggest, which is exactly why it's earned such strong recommendations among this year's student tablet roundups. Number 3. Lenovo IdeaTab Plus with Lenovo Tab Pen. Coming in at number 3 is the Lenovo IdeaTab Plus, bundled with the Lenovo Tab Pen, and it earns its spot specifically by combining genuinely useful AI tools with real, dedicated note-taking functionality built directly into a custom version of Android. Powered by a capable processor paired with a healthy amount of RAM and virtual RAM, the tablet includes AI-powered features like smart voice memos, a language translation tool, and a built-in writing assistant, all genuinely practical additions for students juggling lecture recordings, research in different languages, or simply wanting help organizing and cleaning up rough handwritten or dictated notes into something more polished. An 8,000 mAh battery promises genuine all-day battery life, backed by 18-watt fast charging that lets students top up quickly between classes rather than needing a lengthy charging session, and the tablet even supports reverse charging, letting it function as a backup power source for a phone or other USB-C device in a pinch. One of the more genuinely clever features here is the inclusion of 3 distinct display modes specifically tuned for writing, drawing, and regular tablet use, adjusting screen response and sensitivity depending on what a student is actually doing in the moment, which matters a lot for anyone who switches frequently between typing notes, sketching a diagram, and simply reading or browsing throughout a study session. Real user reviews on Amazon, sitting at a strong 4.4-star rating across hundreds of reviews, specifically highlight the writing capabilities as genuinely good for students, alongside consistently high marks for battery life. Though some buyers have reported occasional screen flickering and some pushback on the custom software layered over standard Android. For students who specifically prioritize handwritten note-taking and want AI assistance built directly into their workflow without paying a premium brand price, this tablet delivers a genuinely well-rounded, thoughtfully designed package, which is exactly why it's earned a strong recommendation this year. Number 2. Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 FE. At number 2 is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 FE, specifically recommended as the best bet for handwritten note-takers who want a bundled S Pen alongside a genuinely rugged build that can handle the daily wear and tear of campus life. The included S Pen stylus is a major part of what makes this tablet such a strong pick for students specifically, offering precise, natural handwriting and annotation directly on lecture slides, PDFs, and digital notebooks, without needing to purchase the stylus separately the way some competing tablets require. Samsung's software layer brings genuinely excellent multi-window and multitasking tools to the table too, letting students run a PDF, a note-taking app, and a browser window simultaneously in a properly usable split-screen layout, which matters enormously for research-heavy coursework, where cross-referencing multiple sources at once is a near-daily requirement. That kind of robust multitasking has specifically been highlighted as one of the best multi-window feature sets available on any mobile device, a genuine strength that goes well beyond what most budget or mid-range Android tablets can offer. Build quality is another standout factor, with a rugged construction specifically built to survive the realistic daily abuse of being tossed into a backpack, dropped between classes, or left out during a long library session, giving students genuine peace of mind that their investment can handle years of regular use rather than requiring careful, delicate handling. Battery life comfortably covers a full day of classes and study sessions, and the display strikes a strong balance between size and portability, working well for both reading dense course material and comfortable handwritten note-taking during a live lecture. For students specifically prioritizing handwriting quality, genuine multitasking power, and a build that can survive the realistic chaos of student life, the Galaxy Tab S10 FE delivers an impressively complete package, which is exactly why it lands so close to the top of this year's list. Number 1. Apple iPad Air M3. And that brings us to number 1. And the winner is the Apple iPad Air with the M3 chip, specifically recommended as the single best all-rounder for students who don't mind paying a bit of an Apple premium in exchange for genuinely excellent, reliable performance throughout an entire degree program. Rather than the newest M4 chip, the M3 model is specifically the smarter pick for students, since it comfortably handles multitasking, split-screen apps, and even creative work without breaking a sweat, all while sitting at a noticeably more affordable price point than the latest flagship silicon, a genuinely sensible trade-off for coursework that doesn't demand cutting-edge processing power. Paired with 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage, the tablet handles the kind of demanding academic multitasking that becomes routine over 4 years of coursework, running Microsoft Office, Google Workspace, Canvas, and web research simultaneously without slowdown. While its 11-inch Liquid Retina display delivers genuinely excellent color accuracy and sharpness for reading dense PDFs and lecture slides for hours at a time. Support for both the Apple Pencil Pro and the more affordable USB-C Apple Pencil gives students real flexibility for handwritten notes and annotation depending on budget, and Apple Intelligence features built directly into iPadOS add genuinely useful writing and organizational assistance layered on top of an already mature, well-supported app ecosystem. Because students often keep a single device for 4 years or more of their academic career, long-term reliability and continued software support genuinely matter more than chasing the absolute latest specs. And Apple's consistent, multi-year update commitment for iPads gives real confidence that this tablet will remain fully capable and supported for the entire length of a degree program. Combined with the sheer breadth and maturity of iPadOS's academic app ecosystem, spanning note-taking, PDF annotation, creative tools, and every major productivity suite, it's easy to understand why the iPad Air continues to earn the top spot as the single best overall student tablet, which is exactly why it earns the number 1 spot on this list.